everybody. This is the Bootstrap Business Show with Matt and Serge. And the Bootstrap Business Show is all about showing you what it's like to start a business from the ground up, bootstrap style, which basically means with your personal resources and the money in your pocket, starting a business. So we got three entrepreneurs right here, myself, Serge, and our guest, episode 1 guest. So I'm super appreciative that we're getting this show going. And we're going to learn some tips, tricks, and advice from professionals and experts themselves on what it's like to start a business, because it can be mysterious, unknown, and a little daunting to start a business, especially in year 1 or 2 or 3. So I'm going to let Serge introduce our guest, and then we'll ask him some questions, and hopefully y'all will learn a few things about starting a business and what it's like.
Yes, sir. I'm excited to hear. We got today with us. Our first guest, of course, is Jake. Jake is the curator of an amazing space that I recently kind of dove in a little deeper with him and see it. It's here in Arcata. It's called The Thing. It's a creative space. Jake, why don't you go ahead and take it away before I start talking for you?
Okay, yeah. So we started a co-working art space on the plaza of Arcata. It is called The Thing. We have about 13 artists right now renting space from us in a 4,500 square foot building. Artists pay a certain monthly rent and get access to the building. They get access to a private space that they can come to anytime they want. We have 24-hour access to the building. We have, it pays just to be around so many artists. It provides inspiration for everyone. Already, a lot of the artists have begun working with each other. So one person creates silk screens, the other person uses silk screens on their clothing, which they sell to people in town. And so there's like a nice synergy about having a lot of artists working together. The end goal of the project is to also add elements of a ceramic studio, having a kiln, adding a recording studio, adding a Tiny Desk style recording series in our basement room, which is pretty cool. And then the full transition would be to have like a tea house and elixir bar downstairs that people can come to on a nightly basis for a like alcohol-free atmosphere full of art and creativity.
That is amazing. Wow. Something really special about having artists together in that collaborative environment that people can really throw that energy off of each other and really feed off of that. Having that kind of energy together can be extremly powerful. I know that.
Definitely.
Yeah, and one of the main goals that we have on being on the plaza is that we hope to inspire a lot of people who pass by every day to come and see that they too can like also be an artist and have it be successful. We want to give a lot of these artists who might not be able to pay $1,500 a month in rent and having their own shop an ability to be in a central location and get their work out there.
Oh, that's so amazing. I love the concept and everything and just how supportive it is. And I was really kind of blown away with you and your energy to putting it all together. If you wouldn't mind explaining to us a little bit, Jake, just about your background in business and how you got to this point in your career.
Yeah, so I guess it kind of started with really traveling a lot and seeing a lot of other places in the world that kind of function on this way. Like in Guatemala and Costa Rica and other places up and down the West Coast that are central vortexes for artists coming together and celebrating, not through like, the use of alcohol or like, really getting intoxicated to celebrate, really gathering around a central thesis of like being healthy and promoting each other. I first got into video work. I studied video or film production at HSU. And my main goal with that was to be able to film my friends who were doing cool stuff and being able to promote them and be like, yeah, cool, look at what these people are doing. Like, this is awesome, and get them out there into the, our kind of like new internet age. And then that transferred to doing event production, which I had been doing for the past like year before COVID happened, which obviously, had a huge hit to it. Once COVID started, we couldn't gather anymore. And then it was like, we still had all these artists who wanted to do stuff and we all still wanted to be able to be creative. And so it's like, okay, cool. We need a place that's large enough for us all to be able to do that, and still, be able to support each other and inspire each other. So that kind of like the natural evolution of how I came to want to do this in the first place.
Oh,
Dude, that is so amazing. I want to also, ask, like, you kind of described it there, but the why of your business, the original spark or the passion. I mean, it sounds like you're a networking wizard and an art synergetic mastermind. You can put artists together in a common space and make magic. So that's already amazing. But all of our businesses start with a little spark or passion. And when did that spark for this business start for you? And why do you think that first spark happened of why you wanted to start this business?
Yeah, so I guess the real spark, and this is what they talk about, was really like kind of going to some of the larger festival events up and down the West Coast and just seeing the massive amount of art collaborating with music, collaborating
Mm.
elixirs, all happening together in a single place to provide this. Really, I feel like it's about safety. It's about people feeling safe enough to be themselves and to like express what they've been wanting to express and to like take a chance. And really, that's kind of what going to those events taught me in general. And then, yeah, just seeing all of that come together, I was just like, wow, like this is possible. Like, and this should exist in our everyday lives. So being able to, that was definitely the inspiration for me, was wanting to see this every day. Like how can we exist in this every day? Why does that energy have to stop when an event ends or something? Why do we have to just let that dissipate? Why don't we like just try and make it the new norm to come together and celebrate and inspire each other on a daily basis?
That's so awesome. No, I totally agree, and that cheers to you, man, because that is the dream, is that there's really no limit to that. Why doesn't that exist? Because a guy like you didn't step up and make it exist. That's exactly what it comes down to. So cheers to you for finding that within yourself to do it. I had a question for you. Knowing that all these artists and these people are so high caliber and everybody is just so full of this amazing energy, I wanted to ask, like, for you starting this business, what do you think has been the most rewarding part for you, like personally, like as you started this business? Like, what have you taken from it personally, the most rewarding?
Yeah, I think the most rewarding part, it's funny, I was actually just talking about this. I think the most rewarding part is being out in the world, or being like overhearing a conversation between someone who's renting space here or inspired by the space, and hearing them talk about it with other people. And when they are saying like, oh my God, yeah, you got to come see the thing that I'm doing at the thing, that provides me with so much inspiration, because it means that people are having this place feel like home. They are feeling really good about what they're doing, and so they're so stoked about it that they're telling other people. And yeah, I've had experiences before with other places where they kind of want it to all be about the place, and they want, like, some people want like credit for the work they've put in. And so yeah, like when I'm listening to these people just like talk about how it's their thing, I just get like really excited. I'm like, yeah, cool, it is totally your thing, go do it. Like, this is your space, you're renting this is great. I want you to feel comfortable here, I want you to feel like you own this and that you have a way to do it. So I think that's the most rewarding for me, is just hearing other people be super inspired about what's going on.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. It's so magical. Those I've been to festivals up and down the West Coast also, and I know the magic. I know exactly what you're talking about, and the art and the entertainment and that livelihood that exists at those experiences is amazing. So I think something that'll be really valuable for our listeners is to hear maybe one or a couple of the most valuable things that you've learned from starting a business, and maybe touch on when you did start the thing. I believe it's pretty recent, and maybe hit the one or two of the most valuable lessons you've learned and along your road.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many lessons. I'm sure you guys can agree that literally every day, every conversation that you have with people is another lesson. that you can learn on how to be doing it better and be listening to people more. And yeah, so lessons I've learned, yeah, just, I mean, the central thesis of what we're trying to do here is to be a community hub. So in that aspect, I have to take in so many different opinions on what we're doing, you know, because there's 13 people who are paying rent here, and they all want to have a say in how things are done. And that's really cool, because it means that, like, when we do stuff, I know that we're doing it with everyone's best intentions in mind, because they're telling me. And so I think, yeah, the most valuable lesson is just listening to all the people around me, and not being like, oh, it's my way, this is my project, but really just listening to everyone and hearing their opinions and being like, oh, cool, that is really awesome. Like, yeah, I do want to be able to support you on this. So yeah, that's also super valuable. And just, I think time away from the project is really valuable. Not just being obsessed by it all the time, and like diving into it and not feeling like you have any time for breaks, and that you have to like live and die for your project for it to work. And that there can be like a level of ease that you bring into it that's just like, you know, makes it a little smoother. And yeah, just time to breathe and time to like get away is so valuable, because it can be really overwhelming, and you're like, oh, I've put money into this, oh my god, like it needs to be successful, or people will say that I'm unsuccessful, and that gets really stressful, and it wears down on you. And then you start making decisions that aren't for the central thesis of why you started, but instead just to fit a model of being successful. And so like when we change what we mean by being successful, then we can also bring more ease into the situation and not put as much stress on the whole thing.
I like that. Take a little break, a little time for yourself. Yeah, I think being an entrepreneur, you can find that there is no end to it. It does not stop. It only stops when you stop yourself. There is no end to the amount of work that you can do. So props to you, man, for finding those too. And we're hoping that people out there listening will take those to heart, and take those heartfelt lessons and those things that you just said to heart, and take them with you. And that being said, we would like to hear about how we can get involved. Because honestly, I know I personally want to get involved. I know everybody that's going to listen to this is going to want to know more, at least, about the thing and how we can get involved, how we can support, and if there's any room to support you and or link up with you to be part of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, we are still under construction right now. We're actively having construction projects go on in the space, and you know, kudos to all the people who are renting here, who have continued to work here and exist here, and go along with the times where I'm like, oh, sorry, you got to move all of your stuff because we're repairing the ceiling in here. You know, I think that's, you know, that's just a effort of communication. But yeah, so ways to get involved. Well, one, you can always just come and stop by and knock on the door and say hi and see what we got going on. It's a pretty fun tour to tour the place. And yeah, really, like, inspiration is a good way to get involved. If you come here and you feel inspired, like, there is a place for people right now. Actively, we have 2 artist space left open that we're still looking for renters. And otherwise, we also have people who just pay a monthly fee to have access to the space whenever they want. And they can come in and drink tea. And, you know, we have like a little break room where you can just make food and chill and have meetings with people. And we have a strong internet connection that we set up a mesh network throughout the entire building, so you can, you know, sit wherever you want. So we have that. And then we also just are looking for muralists and people inspired to create art projects, and people who are like inspired to create anything, really. We had someone come who was really interested in starting this kind of Tiny Desk style concert video series. He's taken over our basement room and really made it into his own thing. And it's super sweet. Like, I mean, we are about to have musicians come in and film this whole video series in this little tiny basement room that he just came in. He was really inspired by that room. He was like, oh, I love this room. That's what I want. I want this room. And I'm going to do everything I can to make this room really cool. And he did it, and it looks really cool. And so it's mostly just about hearing a thing that you want, or identifying a thing that you're looking for, doing it. And once you did that thing, then you have a thing that you're doing. And then once you have a thing that you're doing, that's awesome. And then you did it, and that's great.
Well, that's amazing, Jake. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So the address of the thing, if you could just remind us of the address and maybe of your Instagram, if we can reach out, or any kind of social media or web presence that we can reach out to, it'd be great.
Yeah, our Instagram handle is The Thing Arcata, and our address is 833 H Street in Arcata. It's right on the plaza. It's a giant orange and blue building with art in the windows, and yeah, so come by pretty much anytime. There's just always people here chilling, and yeah, safety protocols are followed, and so yeah, please stop by anytime you're wanting to see the place.
Heck yeah, I can't wait to stop by. I also love that it's a sober place, and that just warms my heart that that's now a thing in Arcata, and sounds like a very magical place with a lot of cool people in there. So I'm excited to get in there soon.
Yeah, we're also going to have like a recording studio where people can come, like musicians will be able to come, and like, we won't be like the most professional recording studio, but we'll be better than anything you can have in your house. And so people can come and kind of do something like that. It's also going to be like a dance hall, so we'll have live performances. I believe we're going to have some spoken word poetry events here and film screenings at some point. So yeah, just stay tuned for those kind of things.
Well, Arts Alive is probably going to be super fun at your spot then, huh? When that opens up.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready for that.
Yeah.
We're ready for it.
Yeah, sweet.
I love that, Jake. Well, thank you so much for joining us, man. We appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us here about your local business here in Arcata. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. I was pretty nervous, but this is great. Thank you so much. It was great.
Heck yeah. We're so thankful you hopped on here. And for any of the listeners, if you're a local business owner or no local business owner that wants to hop on our show, you could be the next guest on our show. So thanks for listening, and stay tuned, everybody.
Sweet. Thanks so much, guys.
Peace, Jake. Thank you. Hey, thanks for watching the first episode of our Bootstrap Business Show. Expect many more. If you subscribe to our channel, then we'd appreciate it, and you can hear more about our stuff later on, because we're trying to help entrepreneurs boost their stuff, bootstrap style. Year 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Let's support, and let's be a good community.